Hi, good evening, and a warm welcome to today's webinar. We'll wait for a couple of minutes to allow the other participants to join in and settle down, and then we'll get started. Hope that will be all right with everyone, just for a couple of minutes so that everyone can join in. In the meantime, I will discuss few important points with you. But before that, let me quickly have a look at the live stream and ensure that it is working fine because all of you would require a recording of today's session. And for that, it is crucial, it is important that the live stream should be working fine. So I'll be back with you in a few moments. Let me quickly have a look at the live stream. Perfect. The live stream is working fine, and I hope because in the meter I can see the audio is okay, but I hope you can hear me as well. So now coming back to the important point that I was mentioning to you, and that is related to you getting the maximum benefit from today's webinar. So, sorry, I was sharing with you that I'm going to share information with you about a important point that will help you get the maximum benefit from today's webinar. Now, for that, it is crucial, it is important that for getting the maximum benefit, it is crucial, it is important that you understand the information that we are going to share with you in today's session. For that, it is important that you ask questions, or if you have a doubt, you seek clarification. Now, how will you do that? Because it is not a regular Zoom meeting wherein you can just unmute yourself and you can ask your question. So, how are you going to do that? How are you going to ask your question, or how are you going to clarify your doubts? Now, for that, we are going to use a feature in the Zoom, which is called Q&A. So if you look down below, if you are joining through a laptop or desktop, or if you are joining through a smartphone, then in the menu icon, you'll see there is a feature called Q&A. Using that, you have to ask your question. And sorry, I'll keep the Q&A panel open on the other monitor. And if it is possible for me to answer that question, I'll do that right away. If it is not possible for me to answer that question then and there, then I'll answer that later when we break into the question answer round. And towards the end of the session, we will dedicate about 10-15 minutes where we'll discuss all of your questions, whether they are related to the items that we are discussing today, or even anything else. We can discuss that in the question answer round. But you don't have to wait for the question answer round to start asking your question. Anything, if there's any doubt, anything that comes to your mind, just add that in the Q&A. And if it is possible for me, I'll answer that then in there. All right, so that is the important point I wanted to discuss with you. And now I think we should get started. So, firstly, let me introduce myself. My name is Adnan. I'm Director SME E-commerce Growth at GlobalLinker. My functional or my focus area at GlobalLinker is digital commerce. But in addition to that, I actively work on sharing knowledge or information with business owners on how they can leverage digital technology to their advantage, and they can grow their business digitally. Because I don't think it needs any elaboration, or it needs a debate. Everyone agrees that every business has to adopt digital ways of doing business, and especially selling digitally. Now, how many of us are actually able to do that effectively? Now, technology no longer is a reason for that, because there are so many solutions available out there which can be leveraged, which can be used. But how many of us actually know? I mean, a simple uh, item or a simple technology, which is AI, ChatGPT and Gemini, had been out there for some time, but how many of us actually know to use them to their full potential? Many of us don't. And that knowledge gap is the fundamental reason why many of the business owners and entrepreneurs are not able to use digital technology to their advantage, and they are not able to adopt digital ways of doing business, and they are not able to start selling digitally. So that's where we conduct a lot of training workshops and webinars. And I had the wonderful opportunity of conducting more than 500 such sessions, and had been able to connect and share some knowledge with about 12,000 business owners in various countries. So that is a brief introduction about myself. Now, this is where I think we should get started. Uh, I'm going to quickly move the Q&A and the chat window to the other monitor. And I can see one of the participants has shared their website link, which is very nice. Uh, and I think the participant name is Bipinji. So Bipinji, my suggestion would be, in addition to sharing your website link, if you can also add little details about your business. What is your organization name? Where are you situated? What product or categories do you deal in? What products and what product categories do you deal in? And followed by your website URL. That will give a more clearer and better introduction about yourself to the other participants. And what you're doing is absolutely perfect. And I always encourage participants to do that, because this is also a networking opportunity. And God knows you may be able to find a buyer or supplier, right? So why to miss this opportunity? As business owners, we are required. It is not only our responsibility, it is our duty to grasp and action on every opportunity that comes our way. And this is also an opportunity, so why not utilize it? So when you're introducing yourself, just add a little more details. I am not suggesting you have to add a lot of, you have to literally write a paragraph, but few details will help the other participants understand you in a better way, and they'll be able to connect with you as well. All right, perfect. And now I can see he has acted on that. So wonderful. And this is where, let me start sharing my screen, and this is going to be a live demonstration. So this is where, let me start sharing my screen, and we will proceed ahead. And while I am sharing my screen, let me also share another important point. And you must be saying, like, he's just sharing point after point and not coming to the actual discussion. This is also important because in one of my previous sessions, what happened, we started the screen share, but there were one or two participants who were not able to see the screen share, and they were not able to benefit from the webinar. And that is a very serious thing, because if you're putting this much energy and effort into the webinar, we try to ensure that you are able to understand, you are able to get the maximum benefit from the valuable time that you are investing with us today or in the webinar. And that's where, when we investigated, that's where we realized that there were two reasons because for that issue, they were not able to see the screen share. One was that the Zoom application was outdated, and because of that, it was causing issues. So that was one issue which was impacting one of the participant. The second was network connectivity. The internet speed was low, and because of that, the Zoom was not able to buffer, and that's why it was causing issue. So in case you also encounter a similar sort of issue, then what should you do? Then you should firstly check your internet connection and ensure that the speed is good. And the second thing is the Zoom application. If it is not updated, just update it quickly, and that will fix the issue. So I've started the screen share, and this is where I will request participants, if any one of you can confirm that you're able to see the screen, although I can see on the other monitor in the preview that the screen is visible. If you can chat yes in the chat, that will help me understand that you're able to see the screen. That will Yes, I can see. Bipinji has confirmed that he's able to see the screen. Ashish ji has also confirmed that he is able to see the screen. So thank you everyone for confirming that you are able to see the screen. So what you're seeing on your screen is a demonstration account. And this is an account I typically use for conducting my training sessions and webinars, workshops. Now, the first item on our agenda is to understand how to list your products on GlobalLinker Marketplace. But before that, I think it is important to understand why should you list your products on global income marketplace. Before understanding how, why should be clear. That is my opinion. So global income marketplace is a cross border b2b sourcing platform which is going to be leveraged by international buyers and domestic buyers to source B2B products. So if you are a B2B seller, then this is a platform. Additionally, it also caters to B2C sellers if you're selling in retail. So retail customers also very often come to Global Income Marketplace and place orders and buy from here. So even if you are into B2C, this is relevant to you. If you're in B2B, this is a must for you, and you should be present here because otherwise you are missing out on the opportunity. Now, this is where, just to give a little more perspective to the things, I'm going to take a step back and help you or give you an overview of the background of GlobalLinker. So, GlobalLinker is a business networking and digitization enablement platform. So, at one end, we help business owners in finding buyers and suppliers through business networking, and which is something which you saw here. So, this is the business networking side of it. The other side of GlobalLinker is digitization, wherein we help MSMEs in creating their digital presence or adopting digital ways of doing business, especially selling digitally, because we have researched and understood long time ago that every business has to adopt digital ways of doing business, and MSMEs or small businesses are the most disadvantaged lot because of their small size, lack of technical know-how, and lack of resources. And even if many MSMEs or small businesses, they are genuinely interested in creating their digital presence or adopting digital ways of doing business, they're not able to do that. Reason is many, and we are not going to discuss those. But because of those, a very large population of MSMEs is not able to digitize themselves. And if they are not able to adopt digital ways of doing business or digitize themselves, then what will happen? They will find it difficult to survive. Growth is a different thing. Even survival become difficult, and that will happen very quickly, especially with the advancement in technology and AI coming together. That change has been very rapid. Earlier, it was assumed that it may happen in next 3 to 5 years, but that is very close, very near. So that is where businesses are joining, especially small businesses are joining GlobalLinker, and they are creating their digital presence. Now, what is this digital presence? So digital presence is essentially your own digital presence, and I'm going to show you few examples very quickly. So this is one example of and let me open few more. So this is one example of an organization that is into manufacturing and trading of these heavy equipments, which are typically used for sports stadiums or institutions setup and management. So this is their digital presence that they have created. This is their own digital presence. We are providing the technology, infrastructure, and everything, but now they are able to promote themselves on the internet and attract businesses or attract international buyers or domestic buyers, whatever the case may be, to themselves and do business with them. So this is one example, one flavor. There are few more examples. There's another business. There's another business into matchstick manufacturing, contract manufacturing. There's another business that is a retail chain of sportswear and sports equipment. So there are different businesses from various lines, and they are able to create their own digital presence. Now, creating this digital presence is not the end objective. The end objective is what? And something which I had been saying to you quite often since we started the webinar, and that is selling digitally. The end objective is obviously generating business, generating revenue. That is the end objective of every business. Now, obviously, you are creating your digital presence, but are you able to achieve the end objective? Many are not because of, again, lack of know-how, lack of time, lack of resources, etc., whatever the reason may be. Now, to overcome that challenge, we have created GlobalLinker Marketplace so that all the sellers, all the businesses can showcase their offering, their products here, and international buyers or domestic buyers, domestic B2B buyers can be brought in, and they can look at your offering, and they can do business with you. So that is GlobalLinker. Again, GlobalLinker is a cross-border B2B marketplace or discovery marketplace. So this is where, as a B2B business owner, it is a must for you to be present. If you are a B2C seller, then again, it is necessary for you. I will not say it is essential, but it is necessary because there's a lot of traffic on GlobalLinker, which is for B2C products, and you'll be able to generate a good amount of business from GlobalLinker Marketplace for your B2C products as well. So this is GlobalLinker Marketplace. Now, very quickly, I'll move on to the next or to the original discussion, that is, how are you going to join GlobalLinker? But as we are here and as we are looking at the screen, so this is where you'll notice that there's an option for buyers to post their buying requirement. There's an option for the sellers. So if you are not already joined, you can join GlobalLinker by creating your account. And as a buyer, they can come and they can post their buying requirement, and then how you are going to access those buying requirement and how are you going to fulfill or respond to them. That is all what we are going to discuss now here onwards. So the first thing, let's discuss how are you going to join not Indian Business Portal is another platform that we operate. So how are you going to join GlobalLinker? So for that, I'm going to switch the screen, take you to the demonstration account. This is the demonstration account. And to start selling on GlobalLinker or to list your products on GlobalLinker, the very first thing that you have to do is to open the seller panel of your online store. And to do that, you have to just simply click on this button which says online store and which will open the seller panel. This is the seller panel of this demonstration store. In your case, it will be your own seller panel that you'll be opening. Now, before you start the listing process, it is important that you have properly updated the product. Each product should have at least 3 images and 30-word summary description, 70-word long description. So you have properly updated the products, whether it is a B2C product or a B2B product. All those criterias are met. If you have not done that, then you will see the error mark or error message. Now, assuming that you have already uploaded the products and everything as per your expectation and your understanding is in order, and now you want to list your products on GlobalLinker Marketplace. Now, for that, in the sales channels tab, and this is where you'll see the sales channel, this is where you have the different sales channel. You have to click on GlobalLinker, which is here. I am just highlighting that. Here you can see we have GlobalLinker. So you have to click on that, and then you have to click on Marketplace. And this is the interface which will open up. On this interface, you'll see there are a number of items or number of sections on the top where certain values are listed. In your case, if you have not listed your products, everything will be 00. I've also not listed the products. That's why you are seeing most of the numbers are 0. And down below, you have the search option using which you'll be able to search your products here in case you have a large catalog. Now, down below here, you'll see all the products that you have added. This is a demonstration store, so you'll see the number of test products also, which are added to the online store. Now, you will see there are these products which may have this kind of an icon. Here you can see it is a black colored icon, or they may have this alert message or a alert icon in red color. So firstly, let's understand about the alert icon. So this alert icon is to help you understand what are the shortcomings or what are the issues which are there for this particular product. So for example, this particular product, which is a test product, it does not have 3 images and the product description is also insufficient. Whereas in case of this product, there are no issues. So if there are no issues, you will see this option list on GlobalLinker and you can toggle it and you can list the product, but we'll come to that later. So if you are seeing this there are no error messages, then the next thing that you have to do, and that is also dependent on whether you have already done category mapping or not. Because when you're uploading products to your online store, you have that option wherein you can already do the mapping of the products to the GlobalLinker Marketplace categories. But for any reason, if you haven't done that, you have to do it from here. So let me see if I can show you a product where we haven't added the category. So you'll see this kind of an option which says category missing. So let's take this product, which is a women t-shirt. So we have to add the category. How will we do that? So we have two options to do that. One is we can click here and on add category, and then we have to type the name of the product. So or the category. So t-shirt is the product. So we have type t-shirt, and you'll notice there are a number of options. So this is a women top wear, and girls women t-shirt is the correct category. But you'll notice there are a number of other options also. There will be men t-shirt also, but we have found the correct categorization here, which is women t-shirt. So we'll select that and we'll click on save. So that's how we have to do, and this is something which we can do for single product. Now if there are multiple products like this, we have four products, and we have to map the category, or we have to add the category as it says on the panel. So in that case, doing clicking here once and then clicking here second time, third time, fourth time, that is a very cumbersome activity to do. Can you do it easily? Can you update all of these, all the four of them, or all the 40 of them at once? Yes, you can do that. So you have to select them from here. So you have to tick these buttons or radio buttons, as we call them. And then here you will see there is an option which says update category, and we'll click on update category, and this is a shirt. So it's a men's shirt. So we'll select that, and this is where it is women t-shirt, women men's shirt is here. This is the correct option, and we'll click on save. And that's how easily you'll be able to map. So if you have to map multiple products to the same category, of course, you can do that by selecting these buttons. Or if you have to update that individually, you can do that. If you have to do any change in the categorization, that can also be done. Here you can click and you can change the categorization. We have to change it to from tomato to potato. We can do that like that very easily. So that is this second thing. What was the first thing? First thing was fixing these alerts or issues which are there for the products. So fixing them was the first action that you have to do here. The second action was to map the categorization. And once you have done the mapping, so there is no issue and the mapping is done, then you have to just click on this button to list the product. And it will show this option inquiry only. And then you have to click on save. So this is how you have to list your B2B product, wherein you are receiving inquiries. And I can imagine you may be a little confused. So let me take you here and let me try to show you some product that may help you understand it in a better way. So let's go to the agriculture category only. Here you can see send inquiry. So any prospective buyer who's coming here and they are wanting to inquire, connect with this particular supplier. So that's where they'll be using this option, which is send inquiry. So by selecting that option, I was showing you, let me just open that. So you're enabling this kind of an experience on Global Linker where a prospective buyer will be sending you an inquiry. So they will be using the send inquiry feature. So this is what you'll be able to enable like this. Now, if you are a B2C seller and you want the buying option should also be there. So in addition to sending an inquiry, you want retail customers to approach you or buy the product. So how will you do that? So for that, you have to request for enabling send inquiry. So I'll try to show you that experience as well. I think the product is taking time to load. Is it loaded? And my internet is a little slow, so please bear with me on that. So here you can see add to cart and send inquiry. So as a retail customer, if I want to buy this bat, I have to just click on add to cart and I can place an order. But if I am a bulk buyer, I'm interested to buy, let's say, 100 pieces of this bat for my shop or for my showroom, or I run a cricket coaching academy, and for that I need 2 dozen bats. So for that, obviously, I will not be doing an add to cart. I will be wanting to buy them at a special price. So I'll use the send inquiry feature. Now, if you want to have this kind of an experience where retail customers can buy the product, obviously you have to update the retail buying prices. And in addition to that, you have to approach us. You have to send us an email. You have to use the support option and send us an email that you want to have the checkout option on GlobalLinker. And then our team will review your products and see if everything is in order. Then they will enable that option from the backend. And once that option is enabled, you will start seeing this settings icon here on the top. Using the settings icon, you'll have to accept to the cancellation policy, return policy. If you're accepting return, then you have to also specify the return period. If you're not accepting return, then you can disable it. We give that flexibility. You have to enable the shipping policy, which is on your online store itself. And lastly, you have to add your bank details, because like any other marketplace, the customer will be placing order on the marketplace, and then we will be receiving the payment from the customer. Once you have delivered the order and once the return period is over, that is where we have to settle the money with you. And for that, we need the bank details. You have to just enter your bank details, just ensure the bank details are correct. And once you have done that, that is where this feature will get enabled. And then when you are listing your products, you'll get the option whether you would want to list inquiry only, or you would want to list the inquiry in checkout. Obviously, this is a demonstration store, so it can't be enabled for inquiry and checkout, but I hope you get a clarity about the process that you have to follow, right? You have to request us in case you want to have this kind of an experience wherein you want customers to do an add to cart or send inquiry if it is a B2B buyer. All right. So I hope the journey of listing your products on the GlobalLinker Marketplace is understood by everyone. The most important point is to understand and ensure that these flags are not there. If you are adding 3 images and ensuring that the summary description is minimum 30 words, and this the long description, though this is where you can see it is just one word, it should be 30 words, and the visual should be minimum 3, so one cover and 2 more, and the long description should be at least 70 words. So if you are meeting these requirements, and obviously for B2C products wherein you want the customers to place an order, so ITCHS code should be added, your pricing should be added, and country of origin are obviously mandatory. So you can't upload a product without adding that. So those were the criterias that you have to keep in mind. So this is how you'll be able to list your products on the GlobalLinker Marketplace. Once you have listed the products, then what? So there are two things that you have to work on. One is if there is someone who is sending an inquiry. So let's take that cricket bat example. So as a buyer, I come here and I click on send inquiry, and that's where I am sending an inquiry. I'm expressing my interest to buy this product. So there are a number of fields that I have to fill in. And this is where you can see what is the expected weight I'm looking at, what is the bat size I'm looking at, what is the blade profile, handle type, warranty period, etc., and how much quantity I'm looking at, and the other details requirement that are there. So once I've filled all the requirement, if there's a technical specification document, in case of technical products, there may be. So once I've added all the details, then I have to click on submit as a buyer. And then this inquiry will be sent to you as a seller. And where will you see the inquiries? This is the place where you will see the inquiry. So this is where I have received an inquiry from a person called Yogesh. Now, if I want to understand more details about this inquiry, in that case, I have to just click on the inquiry. So I will click on it, and it will take me to an interface where I can see that inquiry. So let's wait for it to load up. So this is the inquiry which I had received, and the person had inquired for this particular product, and I can view the details of the inquiry, and then I can reply. I've already replied, so that's why you are seeing edit reply, but you will have the reply option. So once you click on reply, so you'll be able to specify, you'll have to select a product. So it has to be an existing product on your online store. You have to select the product, and then you have to fill in the details, whatever you would want to add, including your remark details or packaging details, and then the Incoterms, delivery duty, payment, etc., if that is applicable. And then you have to click on send. So once you have sent the response, that is where the buyer will get an update that you have replied, and then the buyer will check and review the details, and everything is in order. They'll connect with you to close the transaction. So this is how you are going to review and respond to RFQ. Now, there are two types of RFQs, and that is something which I will quickly show here. So this is the same cricket bat where I had clicked on send inquiry, and this overlay had opened up. So as a buyer, if I have filled in all these details, and now I am at the stage where I'm going to submit the inquiry, I have this option of choosing to keep it a public inquiry or to make it a private inquiry. So private inquiry is something which a buyer is sending exclusively to you. So it is not visible to anyone else. It is between you and the buyer. No one else has a view on it. Or they can make it public. So if it is a public inquiry, so in that case, it will be obviously because you are the person to whom he's sending the inquiry. So obviously you will see it on your seller panel here, but because it is a public inquiry, it will be visible to other sellers as well. Now, where is it visible? So that comes to I told you there are two tasks that are there. So one is to keep an eye on inquiries that you're directly receiving. We, although, send a email notification whenever an inquiry is received, especially a direct inquiry if it is received or if it is relevant to the industry to which you belong. But we have seen this in past that sometime that email notification gets overlooked by sometime it lands in your junk folder, sometime it gets missed out because you have received 100 or a few hundred emails after that, and you simply missed seeing it. So in that case, there can be a scenario that there is a buyer who's waiting your response and you're not responding. Although we have a team that looks into all the inquiries which are coming, and in case you're not responding, they'll try to reach out to you and uh, ask you to respond. But before that, it is better to be proactive. And a very simple thing that I suggest that you should be doing is to just daily come to this section, just open this panel every day. It will take you less than a minute, and have a look if there is a icon or if there's an alert around this chat icon. That would mean there is an inquiry that you have received and where you have to action upon, where you have to respond. It's a very simple thing, but it will prevent any accidental misses or any opportunities which came all the way to your door, but you were not able to action on them and you missed those opportunities. So it will prevent those accidental misses. All right. So that was related to the inquiries, which are either private inquiries or where you are tagged as a seller. So those will be displayed there. But there are other inquiries which are there and which may be of interest to you, or someone you know can fulfill those inquiries. So where is the place where you can see those inquiries. So those inquiries are visible on your account. So once you log into the account, this is where you will see there's a section which says buyers looking for. And here you'll see there's an option which says view RFQs. Few of the RFQs will be visible here, and you'll have the scroll right left option. But my suggestion is you click on view RFQs and it will take you to the screen where all the RFQs will be listed. So again, suggestion from my side is that you have a look at this section daily. If there's an RFQ which is of interest to you, you can action upon it. Although, again, I'm saying because these suggestions look very uh, different coming from a person who is into technology and who has spent most of his life with the technology and who's a trainer and educator about technology. Because despite the fact that there are notification, but there had been instances where people missed out opportunities, and I don't want that to happen. So this is where just creating a practice, a process, will help you in missing out or in not missing out any of the opportunities that are coming your way. So this is the place where you will see all the RFQs which are there. May be relevant to you, may not be relevant to you, but you will be able to see all of them here. So this is where you'll see there is this RFQ which is there, and this RFQ. So this is where there is some buyer who is interested in purchasing agrochemical fertilizers. There are 1,000 units of jute handicraft product. There is someone looking for gearbox for Inalsa food processor. There's someone for 2,000 kgs of copra coconut. There's someone looking for monitors, etc. So as I was suggesting that you have to go through this section, and uh, on the first page, you're seeing the 10 inquiries. You can go to the second page as well, and that's where you can see the remaining inquiries. So with you can see there are certain inquiries which are tagged expiring soon. So these inquiries are only active for a certain period of time. So whenever the buyer is submitting the inquiry, they have to specify for how long this inquiry is valid. So after that specified period, which can be 7 days, 10 days, 15 days, depending on the buyer's understanding and requirement. So once that period is over, that is where these inquiries will disappear. Otherwise, you would see thousands of them here. So only the active ones are displayed here. So as a seller, you should be reviewing this section, and if there is a requirement which you will be interested in fulfilling, you should submit your response. Or if you know someone who can fulfill that requirement, you should share the requirement with them and ask them to uh, create an account on GlobalLinker and fulfill the requirement. Now, just imagining that there is this requirement for someone looking for two saris and you would like to fulfill this requirement. So in that case, we have to just click on view details, and this is where all the details are there. Now, to respond to this inquiry as a seller, we have to click on this reply button, which I showed you earlier as well. And on the top, you can see all the details. So till this section, all the details are from the buyer. This is the buyer side details. And then we can select a product. So for example, I have this product which I would want to share, how many quantities the person is looking at. So they're looking at 10 units. So in case you are not able to supply 10 units, you can specify I can supply 5 units, and the price will be 1,200 per unit, or I can change it to 1,000, and the lead time, let's say, will be 10 days. And I have other details which I can add here with respect to the detailed remark about detailed requirement, purchase requirement, etc. And if there are any delivery duty, payment terms, etc., or if there is an attachment that I would want to share with the buyer, I can do that. And then I can click on send, and the response will be sent to the buyer. And the buyer will obviously get an update, and then they can review your response and they can respond back to you, and you can take the discussion forward from there. So this is how you'll be submitting or responding to RFQs, which are public RFQs. The private RFQs will all only be appearing here. So this particular RFQ, which I showed you for a shirt, is not visible here. You'll not never see that here because it is a private RFQ. Only the public RFQs are displayed in the public RFQ space. All right. Now, if you are someone who has enabled orders, in that case, the orders will be displayed in the order section. So how do you access the order section? On the top, you'll see there's an option which says orders. And once you expand it, that's where you'll see the drop-down option, which also says orders. So you have to click on that. And the orders will be displayed here. The difference will be that the online store orders will have the LS, which is linker.store, and the GlobalLinker Marketplace will have GM, which is GlobalLinker Marketplace as the initial. So that is the difference between a linker.store order or GlobalLinker Marketplace order. And let me see if I can find an order, which I can show you how to process the order. That information will also be useful for, especially for the users who are into B2C. So here we have an order. So let's try to use this as an example. So this is where you can imagine that you have received an order and you would want to process this order. Obviously, it will not be COD. It will always be a prepaid order. So on GlobalLinker, there is no COD option available. So you have received the order and you would want to now fulfill this order. The first thing that you have to do is to pack the item. And for that, you have to understand which product it is. So this is where you'll see the product name, which you can see here. But sometimes many products have very similar name. And as a seller or your colleague or team member who may be processing the order, they may get confused that which item it is. So to clarify their doubt, you have to just click on this button which says view, and it will take you to the order view page. And here you can click on the product title and it will show you the product. This is a unpublished store, so we will not be able to see the product, but it will take you to the product detail page and you'll be able to see the product. So once you are clear that this is the product that the customer has ordered, then you have to just pack that item. You have to pack that product. And once the order is packed, you have to ship the product. For that, you have to use the integrated logistic, which is pre-integrated onto the platform. So you can create the shipping package. But before that, you have to enable shipping. And if you have already not done that, you have to enable shipping. So from where will you do that? So for that, you have to go to store settings and you have to go to the shipping section. I'm just opening that in another window for your reference. So this is the shipping management interface. The first thing that you have to do in case you have not enabled logistic, in that case, you have to enable logistic. And for that, you have to go to the courier section. And here you will see Varmaship and ShipRocket. So you have to enable either of them. So either ShipRocket or Varmaship. And how you will be able to enable, we have integrated the tutorial videos also here. So you can watch the video and you can understand the process. And then you will be able to uh, enable them very, very easily. And once the courier service is enabled, then you can go ahead and you can process the order. For that, you have to go to the order management interface and you have to click on create shipping package, which is here. It is visible on the order summary view also. Once you have clicked on create shipping package, this overlay will open up. Now you have this drop down. In this drop down, you have to select the courier operator. For example, on this demonstration store, we have ShipRocket enabled. So I'll select ShipRocket and then you'll see the dimensions in weight. Uh, Fields are here. So you have to type in the dimension and weight of the packet, not the product. The packet which you have created, you have to type the dimensions and weight, and then you have to select the pickup location. Now, many businesses deal in standardized packages. So in that case, you can store that information as well. So let me show you how you can do that. So length let's say it is 10 inches, width is, let's say 5 inches, and height is 4 inches. We'll select inches from here, and the weight is, let's say, 500 grams. So we'll select that and we will click on plus, and I'm just giving it name box 22, and we will save that. Now, the next time I'm creating the shipping package, I don't have to type all these details because I know that I'm using box 22. So I have to just select box 22, and all the details will get populated automatically. So I don't have to type all these details again and again and again. I don't have to do that hassle. After I have added the dimension and weight, then I have to select the pickup location. So there are multiple courier pickup locations. So courier pickup location basically means where the courier person has to come to pick up this order. So whether they have to come to your store, whether they have to come to your factory, whether they have to come to your warehouse. So you can add multiple pickup locations, and that can also be done from the shipping management interface. Here you'll see there's an option which says warehouse. So don't take the term warehouse literally. It is basically pickup locations, and these can be added very, very easily. You have to click on add warehouse, which will open this overlay. So here you have to firstly type a warehouse title, which is only for your reference, because while processing the order, you'll see those options here. So you should be able to identify from which location the order has to be picked up, the address, location, city, postal code, mobile number. So mobile number should be of the person who's available at that location, because you can have warehouses or locations across the country at different places. So whosoever is available at that location, their mobile number should be added here, and then click on save, and the warehouse will get added. So you'll have multiple pickup location, and then you can decide. So whether it has to be store address or Dehradun warehouse or Greater Noida warehouse. So depending on from where you would want the pickup to happen, you have to select that, and then you have to click on check serviceability, which will check the serviceability. And this where you can see it will charge around 70 rupees. And then we have to click on confirm and ship. Once we have clicked on confirm and ship, the shipping package will get created. Let me do that. I will cancel the shipment after the webinar. So I've clicked on confirm and ship, and now the shipment is getting initiated. Now you will notice that this section, the shipping package, has started appearing now. Now the next thing that we have to do is to click on update, which will open this overlay, and again we have to click on confirm and ship. Now you may be thinking like, why are you making us click on confirm and ship 2 times? So this is as a fail-safe mechanism, or to prevent accidental shipment creation. Otherwise, if you're working on the previous overlay which I was showing you, and while entering the details, you accidentally clicked on confirm and ship, that may initiate the courier pickup, and then you may not be able to make any changes, etc. So this is where this acts as a fail-safe. And in case you have accidentally created it, you can delete it as well from here. This is where you can see the delete option is also there. So this is where we are assuming that we want to ship this order. So you have to click on confirm and ship once again, and that will reload the page. Now, if you go to the shipping package section, this is where you will see the update button, and here you'll see generate label, generate manifest. You have to download the label. Label is basically the sticker that you have to put on the packet. If you have shopped online, the packets that we receive, sorry, they have a sticker pasted on them. So we are trying to do the same thing here. So I've downloaded the label, and the next thing that we have to download is the manifest. So this is where we are downloading the manifest. Allow me a few seconds to download it, and then I'll show you. So we have downloaded both the documents. Invoice is optional. So if you want to use ShipRocket's invoice, you can do that. Otherwise, you can just leave it. So this is the shipping label, and that is the manifest. This is the manifest, and this is the label. So it will have the barcode, everything. You have to print it and paste it onto the packet. And manifest is something which you have to print duplicate. So one copy will be taken by the courier person who will come to pick up the order. And on the second copy, you have to take the receiving from the courier person, and it should be kept in your records. You have to create a file where you will keep logging all these manifests so that tomorrow, God forbid, if your uh, consignment or if your order gets lost in transit, then you'll be able to claim compensation for that. So that is why it is important, right? So this is the last step. Now you will notice that the shipment status is packed, which is the current status. Once the courier person picks the order, it will automatically, or you should change it to picked and click on update. And after that, the updates will happen automatically. So if you're using Vamaship or ShipRocket, then you don't have to manually come and update here. If you're using any third-party logistic or you are delivering the order yourself using your office boy, in that case, you'll have to come here and you have to update the stored orders from picked, packed, out for delivery, delivered. So all the statuses have to be updated manually. With respect to ShipRocket or Vamaship, if you are using any of those, then you don't have to update it manually. The system will keep updating the status automatically. Now, whenever you have updated the order status, the customer will also get a intimation from the system that the order has been picked or packed or it is out for delivery. So all those notifications will continue to go from the system to the customer. So this is how you have to process the order. I think this is all from my side, and this is where we'll break into the question answer round. So if there is a question, because at the moment I can't see any question. So if there is a question, please do add that in the Q&A. In the meantime, let me quickly go and cancel the order. Otherwise, the courier person is going to come to pick up the order. So while I cancel the order, if there is a question, please do add that in the Q&A. I can see there's a question in the Q&A by Mr. Bipin. Wants to understand, is it possible to send the order updates using your own email ID? No, it is not possible. It will go from the linker.store email ID. Any other question from any other participant before we close the session for today? And if any one of you has any question or if you have any doubt, please do feel free to reach out to us. I'll share the email ID of our help desk. Drop an email and someone from our team will help and guide you. The email ID is simple, info@globalinker.com. I've shared the email ID in the chat as well. It is otherwise very simple, info@globalinker.com. Perfect. So as there are no further questions, we will conclude the session for today. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for your time. I see there's a comment from Mr. Dharamchand. Do process of exporting 1 kg rice to USA. Mr. Dharam, I'm not clear what you want to understand. The question is not clear. How are you going to list on GlobalLinker? That is what you want to understand, or you want to understand how are you going to ship the order? Is that what you're trying to understand? How can I export 1 kg of rice by GlobalLinker to USA? So you want to ship, basically your question is, if I'm understanding it right, your basically question is, how are you going to ship it? So first of all, GlobalLinker is not a courier service provider. So we are not going to ship it through GlobalLinker. ShipRocket offers international shipment service as well. So through ShipRocket, you can deliver, or you can use other third-party logistic as well, like India Post, etc. And through that, you'll be able to ship. I hope that answers the question. Perfect. So this is where we'll conclude the session for today. Thank you everyone for your time. I hope you found the session informative, and I look forward to connecting with you in my next upcoming webinar. So till then, thanks and bye-bye from my side for now.